Welcome to another adult virtual improv show with the LA Connection players. We have over 11 teams. This team, some of us are second shows. Some of them, they've got some newbies on today for their first show with the LA Connection. Now, we edit everything on the spot and then post it up on our YouTube channel, LAC Comedy. The actors know what games they're playing today, but they don't know what suggestions I'm going to give them. So before I introduce our cast, we've got some great games. We have an addiction meeting. We all have addictions, and you'll be hearing about some of them today. We have an on-the-spot acronym panel. We have Judge Judy. We've got a very serious case we're going to be trying today. We have an alphabet game, a story lecture game, and we have a eulogy. And if time, we're going to throw in a talk show at the end. I'm Ken Scove, and here is our cast today. Dominic, his first show with us. Lori. Andre.
Hey.
Judy. Heather.
Hi, guys.
Her first show with us. Keyshawn. It's his first show with us as well. And George. All right, we're all ready. Good to see you still got your fingers, George. All right, so this show is completely improvised. As I say, the first game's an addiction meeting. I'm going to give them what they're addicted to. They're going to go off and minimize themselves, get into character with their addiction, and then we'll start our meeting. So let's start off with Dominic. Dominic, you're addicted to stealing, okay? You steal from people, Dominic, okay? And Lori, you're addicted to clothing. Okay, now let's go to Andre. Andre, you're addicted to drugs, whether it be prescription drugs or illegal drugs, but you have a drug problem. Judy Lee, you're addicted to sex. Okay, sex. Okay, and Heather, you're addicted to, let's say, food. You're addicted to food. And Keyshawn, you're addicted to the internet. So anything to do with the internet, social media, all that good stuff. And George, you're addicted to gambling. You'll gamble which bird will fly off the fence first. Anything to do with gambling. All right, so we have all our addictions now, and I'm their counselor. Once a month, I bring everybody together and we try to work on their addictions. This is the first meeting we've had in a month. We had a meeting a month ago. I want to see what kind of progress they've had. They all have different addictions, and we let them kind of come in together to hope that, they can share their addictions and maybe help each other get through them together, just like an AA meeting. But we're not just dealing with alcohol, we're dealing with all sorts of different addictions. So if I could bring in all the players right now, I'm going to open up the room and have you come into my counseling room and deal with some of the issues that you guys have. I'm going to go through each one individually. Let's just start with Dominic, since Dominic, I know that you're addicted. And Dominic, could you tell everybody what you're addicted to?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Dominic, and some people like to call me a kleptomaniac. I really just like to look at myself as an opportunist. Well, at least I thought so. It's been about 5 months since I've stolen anything.
Dominic, let me stop you there for just a second, Dominic. I noticed the pillow on your couch there, the red and a red one, kind of an orangey red one. That wasn't at the last meeting. That pillow's from my couch that you were sitting on. You stole my pillow.
What? Come on, man.
Yeah, you stole my pillow from the last meeting.
No, I bought that. I went to Bath and Body Works.
Okay, well, you're going to have to provide a receipt from Bath and Body Works.
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
I've got plenty of receipts. That's not a problem, Kent.
You might have stolen those too. Huh?
Okay.
Stole receipts?
Okay.
I scared you frozen there for a second. You're just so full of BS, I think.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Keep thinking, all right? Because I did see a pen today that I needed to write. I needed to write something down, and I didn't. Oh, I didn't.
You didn't what? What do you have behind you? Because obviously you're trying to hide some things behind you. Maybe some from my office. I know I was missing a bottle of wine also after the last meeting. So obviously you had a little picnic with one of your girlfriends with
Okay.
my
Yeah.
pillow and my
I
wine.
steal. Okay. I steal things. Not an alcoholic. Alcoholics steal booze. I steal things that I feel are necessary to me. Let's make that clear. So if you do see a bottle of wine, I didn't steal it because
Oh,
I don't really need it too much.
you don't drink. Okay. Well, I can tell you a guy who probably does drink is Andre. He's got a drug issue, and part of his drugs is alcoholism, marijuana, prescription drugs. How you doing with all that, Andre?
Fine. I'm clean. I feel perfect. I just
Yeah. Can you raise your right hand, Andre? I think I saw a joint in your right hand. Can you? Oh my God, Andre!
no. It's
You just swallowed
it's
pills.
it's vitamin B and the D and E and F. It's no, that's just no. It's just tobacco. It's just
If there's a
for relaxing.
yeah.
And I also look so cool like in the movies. I like the look I have with a cigarette. And sorry, I feel
You're doing
mosquitoes.
that because you're on drugs. There's no
What?
mosquitoes there. There's no mosquitoes or bugs in your
Yeah.
house.
This
You're seeing stuff again.
huge one. Don't you see it? It's a
No,
huge one.
no. And I can't believe it. You're actually down. You're dealing at the subway station. I can't believe you're down there dealing or trying to get drugs at the subway.
Yeah,
That's that 242 that 242 Street Station number 1 is the major drug dealing area. So you're obviously down there getting weed, which was in your mouth, and these prescription drugs.
How did I get here?
Oh my God.
I shouldn't go for. Sorry, excuse me. Where are we? Well, I might, sometimes the constructions. It's a mess.
Yeah. Right. Okay, Andre, I'll be coming back to you. I want to go over to Heather. Heather, you're eating food right in front of me. I told you to stop eating food. You eat way too much food, okay? You're a food freak. You got to stop eating this much food. You just 3 meals a day, maybe occasional snack. You eat all day long.
No. I wasn't eating. I'm like a cow. I like chewing my cud.
I happen to see you put something in your mouth, okay?
No,
I have all your cameras on, so you guys can't fool with me.
I was just making sure my lipstick was on right.
What was that? What do you mean? You just put something in your mouth right in front of me. What are you doing? That's not your lipstick. And I did look at your lipstick. It's edible lipstick. You're buying edible lipstick so you can lick your lips and pretend like you're not eating still. I know your game.
It tastes like chocolate. I can't resist it.
Okay. Well, look if you keep eating at the pace you're going to eat at, you're going to be obese and you're going to kill yourself. So what do you want to do about your food problem?
Look, if the rest of the people in this group weren't so entertaining, I wouldn't feel like it was some kind of movie. I had to sit here with popcorn, like everybody should just like calm down and just be boring or something.
Mm-hmm.
That would help me.
Yeah, one second, Heather. Dominic, that pen, you said you were going to give that pen back to someone. Now you're just showing me the pen.
Yeah, but that's a different pen. It's not the pen. That's not the pen that I showed you. Come on.
You didn't show me a pen. You told me you took a pen from somebody and you were going to give it back, but then you kept the pen. That's their pen. Just like my pillow, which you're sitting on right now.
I'm not sitting on anything, okay? Does it look like I'm sitting? Come on.
Now it's in your stomach. It's in your stomach. Come on, man. How much stuff do you got in there? You're stealing from yourself now. You're getting to be weird. Yeah, Andre,
I don't
Heather,
appreciate
stop
it.
eating.
It's been 5 long, hard months, okay? And
Okay,
I'm
all
not
right,
getting the
Dominic.
support.
Okay, all right, we'll come back to you. Keyshawn, what's your deal with the internet? You told me you were going to get off social media. I saw you do a TikTok. I mean. I saw you do a TikTok is going to be, Heather will eat those. And I also saw you on Instagram. So you told me you were going to get off social media and the internet.
Yeah, I remember, yeah, because you said I was addicted, but I actually found an article somewhere. Someone sent me an article. Yeah, I didn't look it up. Someone sent me an article saying that you cannot be addicted to the internet, and if it's on the internet, it's true. So I've just been.
The article they sent you was on the internet, about the internet. So it's a writer who writes for the internet who wants people to get on the internet. That's fake news, pal. You're addicted to the internet and social media. You're on there like 12 hours a day. You haven't worked. You're on unemployment. It's ridiculous.
Well, okay, even though I don't work, I'm on unemployment and everybody left me, just think about all the knowledge that I am accruing on a daily basis. Do you know how much is out there on the internet? Like, tell me, do you know how to make a coq au vin? No, Gordon Ramsay
No,
taught
I
me on
don't.
YouTube yesterday. Or was that this morning?
Okay.
No, this morning I was watching Bobby Flay. Anyway, there is so much information out there all the time. I'm trying to better myself.
Well, I understand that, but you're kind of lying to me now because you're talking about the good things on the internet, which we don't have a problem. I'm talking about your addiction to your Instagram, your TikTok, your Twitter feed, your Facebook. These are not giving you a lot of information. Twitter doesn't give you a lot of. Twitter's like a bully pulpit now, where they do fake news sometimes. I don't think you should be going to Twitter to get your news or go on to Google sometimes. I think what you need to do is get off Instagram.
Well, okay, if I get off Instagram and Twitter, like, because I'm soaking in all this information, good stuff daily, what about all the jokes and the humor in life? Like, I love to laugh, and sometimes I see like a quick joke and I'm like, hey, scroll, and then, even though I spend a few hours, I had a good time. And isn't that what life is about? Just enjoying
Well,
everything.
we did a search because I'm able to have a way to get into your computer. We did a search. You're into porn now too. So now you're spending time watching porn on the internet, which leads me over to Judy, who's a sex addict. Judy, you promised me you were going to stop having sex, and I saw you on Tinder. I saw you on a lot of sites like Ashley Madison, I think, the sex site. I mean, you're in a lot of sex rooms now, Judy.
Oh my God, Kent, why don't you tell the world? I saw this strictly LA confidential. But if you just say so.
Perhaps you're the one posting it. I'm just trying to help you with your addiction. I didn't join those websites. So you're already out. People are no.
Let me tell you, Kent, when you have goods as good as I got, you want to share, especially nowadays. Otherwise, you pay $120 a minute for a psychiatrist? I can do that. I can do wonders that uplift you into your best self in 5 minutes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I also have seen one of your receipts from your Discover card had a lot of sex toys on it. What's that all about?
Oh, those are just gifts for my regulars. You know how eager they are to please me. That's not me. They just follow me around.
Regulars.
How
How many regulars
people off the street, How many? Well, I mean, I'm not so good at math. Well, it's between 0 to maybe 1,000. I don't know. Like, I don't carry my calculator with me. I'm providing a service, valuable service, and you're trying to just talk me out of my calling.
Keishan, I saw you get online. What are you going to Ashley Madison now or Tinder to see if you can find her? You told me you were going to get off. Now you're trying to find Judy on the sex
No,
sites.
no. I was my friend texted me this funny video. Funny, yeah, he texted it to me. So I'm not surfing. What, Judy?
It looked
Lee?
like
Okay.
you were searching. You looked like you were searching. That's what I think. Now she's sending you something. God, don't put him back on the internet. She's sending you pictures of herself. All right, I got to go to Lori, who's got
Is that
some
the
clothes
link?
issues. Oh my God, just mute yourself right now, okay? All right, so before you guys have sex in front of me online. Okay, let's go to Lori. You got closing issues. I noticed that you have some new clothes on, and I'm noticing that your bank account is getting less and less because you told me to have access to that to see where you were spending your money. I noticed almost all of it was on clothing.
Well, as you said, Ken, I'm Lori, and my drug of choice is clothes. And actually, I was eyeing up Judy's blouse, and I was wondering if she might sell it to me. That looks like it can catch a lot of men with that top. And I'm just like, how much would, think about a price. We could talk about it at the end. But anyway, getting back to my clothes, yes. It's really sad. I see something on someone and I want to just take it off their body. I mean, it's just that kind of, it just triggers me when I see something that I believe will look better on me than on them. And yes, my bank account is dwindling, but I keep working to pay for my clothes love. It's more about my love for clothes. I wouldn't really call it an addiction. It's just I love clothes. I like the way they look on me. I like when other people have clothes that I want to buy. I love staying up super late at night watching QVC. It's just like, what better place can you be at night in your bed shopping? It's just, I just can't think of anything else I'd rather do.
Well, this is what we're trying to get you off the shopping. And I got to tell you right now, I'm sure Judy would sell you that blouse of hers because most of the time she doesn't have any clothes on, so it wouldn't make any difference to her. And
Excellent.
yeah, she last meeting she came to, she didn't even have any pants on. Keishan, I see you online again. I wish you would stop communicating with Judy. You guys are not supposed to be communicating with each other outside of these meetings, okay? Which brings me to George.
Of course.
George, you
Hey.
gambled on with Keishan online.
Yeah.
That just now I saw the message you said, I bet you can have sex with Judy and in the next 24 hours. Now, why would you do that right in the middle of a meeting?
Come on, it's good odds, Kent. I can't pass that up. I mean, come on. Would you pass that up if you were in my position and if you had money on the line? I don't think so. Come on.
Well, you can't bet on everything. I mean, last meeting you bet that Andre would smoke 2 joints before the meeting was over. I mean, you're actually helping with their addictions, to betting on their addictions.
I mean, look, I would not say, I'd say that I'm definitely helping them. I mean, sure. I mean, yeah, it's a win-win for both of us. I mean, I'm at least indulging them to at least have them feel happy while I'm making money off of it. So yeah, I mean, Andre, he could go through like maybe 2. I think I even bet Andre that he could go through 2 J's of Pineapple Express even. And he did that within maybe 3 hours. This was all off the meeting.
Yeah, well, also I saw a text you sent to Dominic, which really upset me, to see how much he could steal. You told him if he could steal over 200 pounds of stuff in 2 hours, that you would give him $50, or if he didn't, he had to give you 50. What kind of bet is that?
Hey, sometimes you want to live life dangerously. And I think for that, it's a good little competition. I mean, most of the times I'm betting off of them. And in most cases, and a lot of the times I'm betting off of a certain event. And, I get bored. I mean, I figure, why don't I up the ante and I get involved as well? That way I'm betting off of the person. I'm betting on the person that I'm betting against. And I'm betting off myself. So, it's good to switch it up a bit.
Mm-hmm. There's my pillow. There's my pillow. Yep, he's got my pillow. Stuffing it, pretending like he's pregnant. He wouldn't have taken my pillow if you didn't make that bet at the end of the meeting. You told him if you could take 3 things from the meeting, and he stole my pillow and my wine, and I'm trying to figure out what the third thing was. I'll find it eventually. I think it was a cord, like a cable.
Yeah, well.
Hey, George. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, where's my money?
It's coming, dude. Don't worry. Just find one more thing and we'll all be good.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Good. All
Thank
right.
you.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay, I'm just going to end on this one thing. Andre, do you know where you are?
What? You're talking to me? Hello? Anybody?
Well, that says it all.
Here? Hello?
That's been our addiction meeting. We'll have all these guys come back in 1 month and see if they've gotten any better. Thanks for playing. Judy, get your pants on. Get off the internet, Keyshawn. Give me back my pillow. Thank you, guys. All right, the next game is going to be On the Spot Acronym. Playing in this game is going to be George, Heather, Lori, and Dominic. So if those 4 could come out here right now, everybody else can go off to the side. It's going to take Dominic about 45 minutes to get all that stuff out of his shirt. Okay, so George, you are going to be a counselor, okay? You could be a counselor of any kind of counselor you want. It could be a school counselor, a college counselor, whatever you want to be, but you're a counselor, okay? So go ahead and go off to the side, change gambling to counselor, and get into character. Okay, Heather, you're going to be a life coach, okay? So go ahead and take that off to the side, and whatever kind of life coach you are. Lori, you're going to be a house flipper, okay? Like on HGTV, you flip houses for sale, okay? And Dominic, you're going to be a detective, okay? A detective. So those are what we got. Now go ahead and go off to the side, guys, and get into character detective, and Lori, go off to the side. All right. And this is our acronym panel. Now, you know how acronym panel is played. An acronym is letters that stand for something. So like say DOA, which would be dead on arrival. Well, it's not going to be dead on arrival. It would have to relate to their field of expertise. So let's say if they were an animal trainer and they would do a little story about, what would be a good house pet. And they go on a little bit about what would be a good house pet. And then at the end, they'd say, so I always say DOA, dogs over aardvarks, because aardvark would not be a good house pet. Okay, so let's bring in the 4 players, George, Heather, Lori, and Dominic. They can come in, and I'm going to give them their first acronym. And then they're going to tell me what that acronym means related to their field of expertise. Okay, so I've got George, the camp counselor. I have Heather, the life coach. I have Dominic, who's the detective, Columbo's illegitimate son, it says. And I'm waiting for Lori to come back out. And there she is. Lori is still closed, so Lori's not closed. But Lori is going to be a house flipper. So a house flipper. So she should be able to change that over the next 45 minutes before the show ends. Okay, so your acronym is, look at how fast she's going. She's smiling as she doesn't know where she is. Does Lori know where she is right now? She's probably stealing clothes from Dominic, who looks like he's doing something. All right, here we go, guys. Your acronym is NBC, National Broadcasting Company is what it means. But what does it mean to you guys, NBC? Just raise your hand if you're ready, and I'll be happy to take a look at you. Okay, so who's ready first? NBC, what does it mean to you? Obviously nothing. Oh, Heather, the life coach, what does NBC mean?
Well, Kent, as a life coach, I meet with a lot of people who need, of course, direction in their lives. They don't all have it together like I do. So I just try to steer them toward their dreams. And when you have a big dream, you have to be passionate about that dream. You have to be willing to just let everything go. So what I like to say to my clients is NBC, never be cool.
That's good. That was very good. That's a very good thing to say to people. Okay, so let's go on to our next one. Who's ready? It would be George or the illegitimate detective or Columbo's illegitimate son, or Lori, who's still trying to figure out how to put up house flipper. Okay, so let's see who's next. Okay. NBC, George, our camp counselor. Okay, George.
Yeah, Kent. You know, when you're a camp counselor, you have a lot of responsibility. I mean, the camp that I work at, Camp Valentine Acres, I mean, we're densely deep in the woods, and you know, that that gives us a lot of dangers and advantages. You've got flies, mosquitoes, bobcats, mountain lions, you know, it's a big deal. You know, but if I had to say what the biggest problem that I think we've had in the past couple of years, and the one rule that we abide by all, it's this: no bear cuddling. I mean, come on. This has been a problem that has happened at our camp for so long. I mean, a lot of the campers are just daredevils. They just love to dare each other to just go off and do something that's ridiculous and insane. I mean, jumping off, jumping off the dock into, I don't know, one little bucket of water, and then, walking into the woods at night, naked, and, the worst is the bear cuddling. I mean, come on. We've lost at least maybe a dozen campers that way, and, we're really at our wits' end with it. So, yeah, no bear cuddling. That's rule number one.
Thank you, George. I really appreciate that. I wouldn't cuddle a bear if I was naked either. Judy might have in the last bit. I think Judy and the sex addict in our addiction thing would have done that very easily. Okay, so let's see now who's up next, Dominic or Lori. Lori. Okay, Lori, tell us what NBC means for a house flipper.
Yes, pardon me with the technical difficulties of changing it, but I am the house flipper, and I find a lot of challenges with the people that I'm flipping for. Because what happens is that they want to try to charge really expensive prices for stuff that needs a ton of work. I mean, you go in there and all you really want to do is gut it before you can even think about doing any renovation, before you can even think about flipping it. And yet I come to the point in my career that I've been doing this for so long, and I just don't want to deal with these people anymore. And there's one thing that I say that I keep to my word: never buy cheap.
That's good. Never buy cheap. My mother told me the same thing. It's all about, location, location, location. And a lot of good locations are not cheap. Very good advice. Thank you very much. Let's go now to our detective, the Columbo's illegitimate son, NBC.
Well, thank you. I'm going to tell you about one time during a raid in a building known as a drug pen, a well-known drug pen out here in Oakland, California. I was walking by, and I was wearing a suit. I was wearing a nice-looking suit. It was tan on the jacket, navy blue tie, white button-down shirt, and I was walking through here to try to catch a guy who sawed off a man's penis. And I remember going in there and trailing, had a flashlight, looking through every single eye. And I got hit in the face with a Louisville Slugger. Didn't even notice it. Just boom, 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 just like right in my face.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what he called me right before that? He called me corny. So that's why I'm wearing this turtleneck right now. I'm trying to become I'm going undercover as a Cuban jazz artist to try to catch guys making fake IDs. And so that's what NBC means to me. Never be corny. Because that guy called me corny.
Okay, thank you very much for the mini series. Okay, now let's go with our next one. The next one is going to be OMG. Oh my God. But what's it mean to one of you? One of you, OMG. What's it mean? Look at the heads are spinning over there trying to figure out what the heck it means. OMG. Lori's still trying to figure out how to put up House Flipper. She'll figure it out at some point. Okay, who's up first? Okay. Anybody up first? OMG is, oh, we almost got George to lift his hand up, but he just was itching his fleas. Okay, oh, there, George is up. Okay, George, go ahead.
I mean, this rule is definitely a given. I mean, being a camp counselor, ostriches must go. You know, I mean, the problem with that whole thing is that, I mean, when you're a camp counselor, you're not allowed to bring pets to camp. I mean, it's a liability issue. You know, students might have allergies or anything. I mean, the sad part, this is a very deep story, but my pet ostrich, Marco, I had him for maybe about a good 10 or so years. I mean, and when I became a counselor, I had to figure out how I was able to, you know, if I wondered how I was going to be able to be a camp counselor and take care of him. The camp wouldn't let me do it because, you know, liability, as I just said. So I had to donate him. I had to give him to my uncle, Tim. And he just, in the summer when I came back, Marco loved him. Yeah. He abandoned me for my uncle. So,
I know,
yeah.
your Uncle Polo. Yeah, I heard the story. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. You're just a mess right now.
Yeah.
I think we've heard enough from you. I'm just wondering how you got the job as a camp counselor. Let's go now to one of our other ones, the life coach, Columbo's illegitimate son, or Lori, who's still trying to figure out how to put up House Flipper. Let's go to the life coach. Okay, here's the life coach. Go ahead.
You know, I mean, of course, I do have it all together. And that is how I set the example for my clients. But, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy being this perfect for my clients. I sometimes feel like maybe I'm faking it. I don't know. So I just try to calm myself down. I think to myself, OMG, only mind games. Only mind games will work in this business of life coaching.
I can see that. Thank you very much. Mind games. I like to see how your clients are doing after a couple sessions if mind games are in. Let's go to Dominic or Lori. Which one wants to go next? Lori. Okay, Lori, go ahead. A house flipper.
Well, I've come across a lot of properties, and oh my gee, I feel that some of them have spaces, and some of them have spaces where you are just not very curby appealing. And that has so much to do with someone buying a home, is the curb appeal. That's the first thing that people see when they walk into the property. They see the, oh my gate, open my gate and let us in.
Okay, so you're looking for gated property. That's very good.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to Dominic. Dominic, you're okay, Dominic? You going back to the room?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Okay. Okay.
I was just suffering from PTSD. But anyway.
Okay.
I remember back in 92. Back in 92. There were these guys running a printing store fraud. And we went in there. They were right behind this printing store. There were midget prostitutes running a midget prostitution ring. And all in all, we defeated them. We got rid of the midgets. We didn't beat the shit out of half of them. We arrested the other half. We completely dominated them, 110%. And I know you're not supposed to say the word midget now, but what do you want me to do? Call him a dwarf? It's highly offensive. Back then, it was highly offensive. I'm going to call them by their scientific name, midget laxidus phylaxibus. And so that's what I remind myself, and that's what I remind my team every time we go in for a sting. Only midgets gag.
Okay, okay. Just so you know, a midget is different than a dwarf. Just so you know, a midget is perfectly proportioned like all of us are, and a dwarf is not proportioned. Sometimes their head's a little bigger, their arms are a little different. Just so our audience knows the difference. You know, being a detective, I think you might need to know that in the future. Hey, you guys have been a wonderful acronym panel, and we're going to send somebody over to Lori's house who knows how to type. Thank you very much for coming in and playing with us. We're now going to move on to Judge Judy. And that was going to be played by Lori. So go ahead and go into then see if Lori can type up judge now. This will be, go ahead and go off to the side, Lori, so we don't have to see you going through all your painstaking moments of finding out how to type up judge. She will be our judge in our next case. Our plaintiff is going to be Judy. Make sure you put that up. Our witness is going to be Keyshawn. Put a plaintiff witness. The defendant is Andre. And the defendant's witness is Dominic. So make sure you put all that stuff up there for me. Whenever the judge is ready, she can come out here before we bring out all four of the other players. And I will tell her what her case is going to be. Earlier, we did a case about the stolen vacuum. But this one, our judge, Lori's clothes again. That's okay. We know she's the judge. So Judge, the case here is that Andre, the defendant, has borrowed her bike, Judy's bike, and sold it. He didn't even give it back to her. He borrowed the bike and then sold it. Judy is suing him for the money that he made, plus any damages. And let's bring in all the defendant now. We've got Andre. Let's bring in the plaintiff, Judy. Let's bring in the two witnesses. Okay, there's our plaintiff witness, Keyshawn. We have one other witness, Dominic, the defense witness. And now I hand it over to Judge Lori, the case of the bike that was taken, borrowed, and sold.
Okay, Judy, tell me a little bit about what happened.
Your honorable judge, I saw the defendant. Andre was my friend, and we were in this theater group, all five of us. And since COVID, we lost our theater, and he crashed in my flat. And he knows I only own this bike. I don't have a car. So he asked me to lend him the bike for just one day. And after 1 week, I asked him, what's going on? Where's my bike? I cannot go out shopping. And I'm starving, and you're not giving me your rent either.
I want to know what would make you have a relationship with this man. That's my question. Before, yeah.
Right. Sorry, Judge. Yes, he was my friend, my theater friend, but he stole my bike, and I find out he paid the money.
You know what? You having a relationship with him, you know, I'm not getting this. But all right, Andre, let me hear your side, please.
Yeah, Your Honor, I plead guilty.
Wait a minute,
not guilty, no, because the bike.
Andre, why would you wear a shirt like that to court? Why would you be so disrespectful to the court with that kind of shirt with it buttoned down to here? What are we supposed to see?
Sorry, I thought that like being a little cool might help. You know, there's a female judge. You know. Right. They say I'm kind of charming.
All right, no. Tell me what happened with the bike.
Oh yeah, right. So, Judy is a dear friend of mine, and I take care of her.
How do you have a dear friend and take her bike and sell it for money? How is that being a dear friend to someone?
Oh, I mean, that's one perspective. But Judy is always she gets a cold every week because she's always out and the weather is so terrible. So all
right, you know, do you have a witness? Does anybody have a witness here? Because this is going nowhere.
I do. I have my best friend, Keyshawn, and he knows that I need that bike. he know what kind of person Andre is.
Okay,
Please
Keisha,
talk.
say. Okay, Judy, enough. What do you have to say?
I have to say that Andre is a terrible person. I've been driving Judy to and from her job, which I didn't have to do in the past, and I don't have a problem with it. But we trusted him, and he stole the bike, sold it, and
Did you
I'm pretty sure he bought that shirt.
Oh, time out. Did you actually see him steal the bike?
Yes. I was walking with Judy, and he walked up to her because it was after theater, after rehearsal. He was like, "Hey, can I borrow your bike real quick?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll drive, and you just lend him the bike." Because I don't want him in my car. So
Okay, so
he said he
basically,
was going to use it real quick.
okay, Andre, do you have any witness to hear your side?
Yeah, of course. Dominic, the director, he was there. He was there after rehearsal. Like, he knows. She was always cold, with a cold, and I did it for her.
Okay, but I just don't understand with selling the bike, and where's the money for the bike? Where is the money for the bike?
Oh, actually, okay. So this is like another topic. Like, where's the money?
Maybe
where's the?
You know what? I don't really believe you, witness. Where's the money for the bike, Dominic?
Oh,
The money for the bike. Well, I saw the money being put into a sock, just right outside the theater. I didn't know exactly who it was going to. Andre is a very trustworthy guy. I mean, very, 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 very.
Well, I can't even understand what you're saying. So I'm gonna make my decision. Give me a few minutes to go over this.
I saw Andre steal the bike, okay?
And I'll get back to you. That's enough, Dominic. Okay, I made my decision. Judy, you gave him the bike and you knew you couldn't trust him. So I don't blame him for selling the bike and making money. So I rule for the defendant.
你是个坏蛋. I hate you.
And that is another case of Judge Judy ruling for the defendant, and the poor little lady lost her bike.
I knew that my new expensive T-shirt would have worked with.
Thank you. Let's see if Judy's got any last remarks. Judy, how do you feel about the case?
I will not be a peaceful person anymore after this. I will go out and grab another person's bike, and I will tear your clothes in the theater. I was saving for you. You're a terrible person.
Well, I look forward to seeing you back.
Thank you all. Thank you all for listening. That's good enough for Judge Judy. Okay, I'm going to need the alphabet team come out. Everybody else go off and minimize yourself. Heather, Judy, and George will be in this. The way the game's played is they're going to start the first sentence with the letter A, and that will be started by Heather. Judy will have to do the letter B, and then George will start his sentence with the letter C, and then so on down the line. They'll just rotate round robin and see how far they go. Now I'm going to ask Lori to come back out here again, and she's going to have her phone, because we're going to time this and see how well they do in 90 seconds. So Lori, do you have your phone ready? I will tell you when we go. All three of you can unmute yourself now, and this is what we're playing. George, what happened here is Heather, who you're dating, has walked in and catches George with her best friend, Judy. So Heather, you've just walked into your apartment or house with your man, your significant other, George, with your best friend, Judy. You'll start with letter A, Judy will be letter B, George C, and go on through. We'll start the scene now with Heather.
All I see here is something that I don't want to see.
Oh, be real. What, you're thinking that nobody has social life?
Come on. I mean, you knew this was going to happen at some point. I mean, yeah.
Don't be so mean. Then that makes no sense.
Well, I really once said you are a bitch. So now I can see you are. Just because people are having fun doesn't mean that you are miserable. I mean, just chill.
Frankly, we've been drifting apart, and I just needed to figure something out. And yeah, I know this was cowardly, and I know you deserve better, but I just didn't know what to do.
Go to hell, George.
That incredible. We were just having this good time, and here you are being your grumpy old self.
Jesus, what the hell have I gotten myself into? Ah.
Kool-Aid. You drank the Kool-Aid, man. I knew you were going to do it. You're just jumping on the bandwagon. You want to do what everybody else does. Cheating, getting around, polyamory, whatever.
Hello, time is up.
Oh, time's up. Okay, the time is up. Okay, well, you missed a few there. Judy, you missed an E and an H. George jumped from left out I and went to J. So we're going to send you off now to our school, off in the side green room, where you're going to learn the alphabet again. Okay, thank you, Lori, for playing with us. Okay, you can go off too, Lori. I know you're still trying to figure out how to type in your name. Okay, so now let's go with storytellers. Andre, you'll be telling the story. And it's going to be in a style of fantasy. And Keyshawn is going to be acting it out. You guys can take off your plaintiffs and all that good stuff now if you want. So we're going to tell the story in the style of a fantasy. And Keyshawn will be acting out everything from inanimate objects to birds to doors to people to dubbing when he talks. And here we go with our storyteller, Andre, about his fantasy. And you got about 2 minutes. Here we go.
Once upon a time, there was an apple. Yeah, she was really nice and kind, and it was a beautiful day. But all of a sudden, she fell from the tree and started rolling, far, rolling. Eventually, she got lost. She felt really scared, and she felt really sad because she was alone. No apples, no more apples anywhere. She started looking for apples, nothing. It was a field of potatoes. And she started asking, like, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? And a potato said, you are really weird potato with a weird shape, all rounded. And she's like, I'm not a potato. I'm an apple. Oh, yeah, sure. You're an apple. Yeah, I live like up there on the trees. Oh, yeah, come on. But eventually they made friends. And they started telling jokes and laughing. And yeah. But all of a sudden, a rainbow. Whoa. And the apple said, let's climb over the rainbow. And they started climbing. And the apple goes, oh, actually, I'm Irish. So my favorite things to do are drinking with friends, telling jokes, and looking for a pot of gold. So they started looking for a pot of gold. But there was no pot of gold, nowhere. So they ended up drinking and telling jokes. And eventually, they both fell from the rainbow. The end.
Thank you for that wonderful fantasy. I want to hear that whole story again about the talking potatoes and all sorts of stuff. All right, let's bring everybody back in. We're going to play a little game called Eulogy. So what I'm going to have you guys type in is what characters you're going to be in the eulogy. So the relationship you have to this person. So it's going to be a toy box, a toy box. So you could be anything that could fit in the toy box, anything that's an accessory to the toy box, anything about a toy box. But the toy box has passed away, and now I need you guys to all type in who you are so I can call on you based on that. Are you a stuffed animal? Are you a rubber animal? An insect? What would be in that toy box? Is there dice in the toy box? What's in the toy box? I see a slinky, and that's all I see so far. Oh, I see two slinkies now. We can only have one slinky. Keyshawn's got the slinky. And got another slinky. Okay, slinkies, George. Okay, Dominic, put up what you are. You guys can put up what you are. We have a toddler. Yes, I know, Lori, you can't put anything up. Don't worry about it. We'll just call it
I'm going to do a doll.
a doll. Okay, a doll. Go ahead and mute yourself, and we'll bring you back for a doll. Okay, I think we got everybody up here. And I believe the last one today was Heather. Yes, Heather will be going last. Okay, so let's start off with Keyshawn, the slinky. If you want to eulogize the toy box for us, please go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've been with the toy box for many years. Throughout all the children of the family, I was always the number one toy, and I always had a home with him. I hate to see him go, but I'm sorry. I just need a second. I loved him so much. He's been with me the whole time.
Thank you very much, Slinky. Okay, let's now go to the doll. The doll.
Well, I have so much to say about the toy box, but I know time is limited. Other people have to speak. But I want to just tell you what kind of loyal toy box he was. I mean, he made such a sweet spot for me inside his chest, and I got to put myself in a little bed and dress up for him every now and then. He was just so happy. He just, treated me, spoiled me. I was the person that he kept close to him at night.
Thank you very much. Let's go now with the WWE action figure, World Wrestling action figure.
I just want to say that, I'm considered, I'm the alpha of the group. And I don't even consider myself that. I consider the toy box to be the alpha of the group. Because I could be vulnerable about him and with him, I could really open myself up. Unconditional honesty. And so I can't take it. I'm gonna miss that toy box so much.
Thank you very much, action figure. Let's now go to Louisville Slugger, the baseball bat in the toy box.
Toy box and we had a very deep relationship. We both came from the same cedar tree. We were both created, so therefore we were we were bonded together. And spending all those years inside him, just laying until I had to go off and for batting practice or maybe just hitting mailboxes, He was my home, and he was my friend, and it's so hard when you lose both your friend and your home at the same time. I mean, yeah. I'll miss you, Toy Box. I'll miss you.
Thank you, Louisville Slugger. Let's go now to, it looks like a Toy Box detachable.
I came to you late. I was a replacement to the previous handle for the toy box. And I was made in China. And the first time we met, Toy Box said I was special. I'm not just one of the cheap ones from the factory. And I believed him because he's so cheerful. But I didn't have the chance to really have fun with him, with the children. And I see how the little boy was affected. How can we all live? Where can we all live? This is his gift for me. And he said I should cheer up, but how can I cheer up when he's gone? I will just end up in the trash pile. I'm sorry, my brothers and sisters. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you, Toy Box detachable handle. Let's go now to the toddler. Who's going to miss the Toy Box? Toddler?
I hated the toy box. Yeah. Because I want my room to be a mess. It's not fun. But I miss him though. Because he was, you know, he managed always to surprise me. Every day was different, like something always different. I don't know how to explain. It was like, yeah. I hated him, but I miss him. But I hate him. But I miss him. Now,
Thank you, Toddler. Thank you so much, Toddler. I'm sorry for your loss, but we have one left. Heather, the iPad. Go ahead, Heather.
Toy Box was a sturdy old fella. Everyone was in him. He kept everyone safe. And I was new to the gang, you know. I'm iPad. I'm not some old toy. I don't belong in a toy box. And someone thought I did. Someone tried to put me inside Toy Box. And you know what? You know what I figured out? There's no room in the future for Toy Box. I'm the toy of the future. I'm all the toys. You can find anything on my screen. Slinkies and dolls, whatever you want. So I had to do away with Toy Box. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. The future has to move forward. And it does make me a little sad. It's sad.
It makes us all sad. Your eulogy reminded us of Toy Story and what they tried to do to all the toys in that movie, and now what you're trying to do. I suggest all the toys and the toddler meet iPad out in the parking lot and maybe rough her up a little bit, guys. That's been our eulogy. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. Well, that's our show, guys. How about that? That was our show. 1 hour show right on the button. A really fun show. And again, I'm Ken Scobe. The show will be posted up on our YouTube channel, LAC Comedy. This is their second show, so you can go check their first show. Someone did another show a month ago. Every month we do different shows. There's 11 teams up there with kids and teens and a lot of adults. So have fun checking out the channel. Our website, again, is laconnectioncomedy.com. if you want to find out more about our theater. But let's introduce this marvelous caster today, really wonderful. Keyshawn, his first show. Very good, Keyshawn. Dominic, his first show. Excellent work, Dominic. Lori, her first or second show, but she's going to learn by the third show how to type in things on her pad there. How about Heather, her first show? Really wonderful. Oh, no, Heather turned into a clown there for a second. Heather. All right. And now we'll go to the clown. There she is, Judy. Yeah, you look good like that, Judy. I think that's your new look. And George, his second show with us. Thanks a lot, George. And Andre, his second show with us. Oh, yeah. And it's just a great show, you guys. Let's all wave goodbye. We'll see you guys in a month.